The beach. Can be exciting places to visit during the summer. Of course, there's always an inherent danger when going there. Mainly from the ocean and what it could actually wash ashore. Today you're going to see a juvenile killer whale being washed ashore, and you're also going to see toxic tar balls. Juvenile killer whale. January 2021, just on the shores of Sunday, a juvenile killer whale was rescued after being stranded on a Scottish beach. Thankfully, there was a group of trained medics from the British Divers Marine Life Rescue and a few locals that were on a rescue mission to save this whale. This 11-foot-long orca laid in the surf, simply suffering and trying to stay alive. The medics then determined that the animal was thankfully healthy and old enough to survive on its own, so they quickly put it on a special dolphin stretcher. It took 8 people to lift this heavy orca into the deeper parts of the water, and they simply assumed the creature to be a youngster of 3 to 4 years. Otherwise, if it was an adult, it probably would have taken more people. Or maybe a crane. They did have to be careful though. Orcas can be hostile on sight, especially if they're stressed, but thankfully it seems like this orca was in as good a mood as a stranded whale could be. Soon enough, this orca was back swimming on his own in the deep blue sea. Millions of sailor jellyfish. Lying on the sands at the beach can be an exciting experience, but sometimes people find some of the craziest things washed ashore. Every year, though, millions of sailor jellyfish wash up near the ocean's surface. And then they go up onto the shore of the beach. These guys are a pretty common sight, however, don't let the fact that they're common fool you. I wouldn't try to actually go up there and try to help them. Generally, once they wash up on the shore, they're pretty much done for. While they themselves may be done for, their stingers are not, and they can still hurt you if it comes into contact with your skin. It does make you wonder though, why do so many sailor jellyfish wash up on the shore so frequently? It's about 1 million every single year. Well, a 2021 study did its best to solve this mystery, showing that the bigger stranding events that happen when ocean surface temperatures are higher. This temperature rise could be natural from the sun and climate, or it could be artificially caused by large schools of different marine life, causing the temperature to warm up from their body heat. Also could be global warming, that's always a fun one to blame. Either way, you don't want to be in the water when all that happens, or on the shore to touch these things. Toxic tar balls. Just along Israel's coastline was one unusual sighting of a strange toxic tar ball which washed ashore. Many tar balls, actually. This event happened in February of 2021, when some toxic tar balls washed up along the Mediterranean coastline, affecting over 100 miles of the coast. These toxic tar balls are pretty much used as a result of an oil spill that occurred 31 miles off the coast. Usually, these oil spills form a slick across the sea surface before washing up onto the beach in liquid form. However, in this case, they instead formed into rather dense balls. How did this happen, though? The sea conditions in the Israeli coastline was quite rough due to the storm, which then broke the slick and mixed it into the seawater. This phenomenon created small concentrated blobs of congealed oil. According to officials, this sea sighting is one of the most serious ecological disasters the country has ever experienced. Sadly as well, the beaches were closed to the public for quite some time. Several volunteers who joined to clean up the beach were taken to the hospital as they inhaled toxic fumes given off by the tar balls. If you ever come across toxic tar balls that may have washed ashore, do well to leave it in the water. Megalodon shark tooth. Meggie is one of the largest and scariest marine predators in the entire friggin' world. However, there are claims that these creatures have not gone extinct. Well, if it's extinct, if it's not extinct, honestly, who can say? But here's something a bit more tangible to talk about with the Megalodon. June 2019, a man named Harvey and his family went out looking for seashells at the Ocean Isle Beach in North Carolina. It was simply an ordinary day. Then it wasn't. He noticed something sticking out of the sand and went closer to examine it. When he kicked it to flip it over, what he saw was a gigantic tooth with a black root. This tooth turned out to be that of the extinct, or not extinct, Megalodon shark. It was one hefty tooth and measured to be almost 6 inches long. Honestly, it's good that Harvey didn't kick it in a certain way, or else he might not have a foot right now, or at least have one nasty cut. He found this tooth over in low tide, and it's assumed that the tooth is likely millions of years old since this creature was said to have gone extinct about 3.6 million years ago. Meg teeth can reach lengths of 8 inches as their bite diameter is about 9.8 feet. Basically, whatever it bit good. While there's no proof of the existence of this creature still living today, finding the tooth in the sands is enough to make you stay away from the beach for a little bit. Giant snowballs on Siberian beach. We may have fall coming up, but a lot of people simply can't wait for winter. Well, back over in 2016, it seems some villagers over in Siberia got a bit of a wintry surprise. These folks noticed thousands of snowballs on their beach. These balls were so big that it left people astonished, and again, this is a family channel, I look at your comments. Moving on, these balls were so big that they could have formed a snowman. Oh, this is a tough one. These snowballs were not human-made as well, they were actually made by nature. A spokesperson of the Arctic and Antarctic Research Institute said that this occurrence is a rare natural phenomenon with a combination of several factors like wind, the coastline outline, and temperature. Locals in the area said they hadn't seen anything like it before, and it may have stretched further down. Natural snowballs are not unheard of, as a similar thing has happened along Lake Michigan where ice balls the size of a boulder formed over the winter months. Most of these orbs formed were similar to how humans form a snowball for a fight. 40 refloated pilot whales in New Zealand. February 2021, New Zealand remote island beach saw a massive gathering of 40 refloated whales. These long-finned pilot whales were left stranded on the beach, with about 9 of them confirmed to be dead. The others survived though. Hundreds of people were at the beach gathered to watch this sight, and luckily for them, experts along with other volunteers were around to tend to the surviving whales. They ensured that their skin was cool and moist by pouring buckets of water on them before the evening high tides came and helped refloat them back into the water. Both locals and experts held the whales into the pods before forming a barrier that moved them away from the shore into the deeper parts of the water. When these animals were fully back in water, boats hovered around the shoreline to prevent them from coming out to the beach. This actually wasn't the first time whales have been stranded on this island. The previous case recorded had about 650 pilot cases, and about 350 of them died. Yeah, that's a cheery story. Mysterious sea creature. Over 80% of the world's oceans have yet to be explored, and these oceans play home to some of the most bizarre creatures in existence. This is why it's quite surprising when certain mysterious creatures wash up on the shores of our beaches. While some creatures are harmless and can be explained away, others are not. 2017, a picture of a mysterious creature surfaced online. This creature looks like a giant lump of fatty meat with slimy white skin and 2 strange balls. Found just on the shores of Leo Carrillo Beach in Malibu, California, the sea creature's a slimy looking animal to say the least. No idea what it's doing up here, but it uggy. Now it's time for the day's best pick. This entry features one of the largest fishes in the entire sea. If you ever come across this animal, do well to stay out of its way. Truck-sized basking shark. We all know that sharks aren't humans' favorite, at least to swim with. They're in fact one of the deadlier deep-sea creatures on the planet. But for creatures like the basking shark, eating humans is not one of their strong points. October of 2021, some fishers found a truck-sized basking shark washed up ashore on the coast of Bremen, Maine. This basking shark measures around 26 feet long, and locals who found this creature were simply stunned at the sight. What was even more shocking was the fact that this creature dwelled in warm waters and is the second largest fish in the entire sea. Interestingly enough, basking sharks are not as harmful as other sharks. They don't bite humans and they prefer to cruise through the water with their mouths open. But they can run into you or shock you with their tough bodies if you find yourself in its way. They can leave up to 4 feet out of the water, but this pretty much sums up the fact that they can't hurt you if you happen to be in their way, unless of course they land on you. Basking sharks are usually seen on the water's surface basking in the sun. They're the largest fish in British waters and can grow to a maximum length of 40 feet, or 12 meters. The Amazon River Monster. By the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, locals found an Amazon River monster in 2019. The gory sight of this decomposed creature made them assume that the beast was the latest invasive species in their oceans. What they didn't know was that this creature overcame many hurdles before it came to Florida. What they did realize, however, was that this beast was known as an arapaima. The arapaima is one of the world's largest fish, known to grow to a length of 10 feet and weigh about 200 kilos. Interestingly enough, this creature breeds only in nests in floodplains. While this creature was found dead as it washed up on the shore, officials did suggest to locals to be on the lookout for them, as there could be more lurking around. According to the Wildlife Conservation Commissions, this Amazon River creature came from the Caloosahatchee River, which runs into the Gulf of Mexico. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Giant fender. Just ashore the Thornton Beach in the Norfolk coast in the UK, a giant fender washed up. Back in 2013, a 40-foot cylindrical rubber structure was found in the sands by the beach. Though this giant fender looked like an innocent object, it definitely wasn't. Luckily, the island coast guards were the first to arrive at the scene, and they were able to stop people from going too close to the object. The Coast Guard did suggest that people would want to go see the strange large thing, but they wouldn't encourage them to go near it. Regardless of this warning, though, the giant fender drew a lot of people to the beach. Heck, it even soon became a tourist attraction. Now, fenders are actually tools used by large ships to prevent them from colliding with dock structures when cruising the sea. While this fender wouldn't explode when you go near it, it's still quite dangerous. This is mainly due to the size of the giant fender and the fact that it's neither moored nor anchored to anything. It's potentially dangerous to humans and could potentially crush somebody. Either way, keep your eyes open next time you're out on the beach. See you all next time!